The Thunder and Sam Presti could not have planned this finals matchup any better than they had. Look, there's a lot of factors that went into why it is Thunder Pacers in the finals, but one thing that people cannot stop talking about is the fact that there is a player involved that in trades that made this finals matchup happen. The Pacers trading Paul George to the Thunder, and then the Thunder trading Paul George to the Los Angeles Clippers is why this finals matchup is Thunder versus Pacers. Paul George is the thing for why the Thunder are in the finals and why the Pacers are in the finals. And we're going to break down the moves that happened and what kind of transpired for this matchup to happen here in the 2025 NBA Finals. It's media day today for the finals. A lot of reporters are now in OKC talking to the players, talking to everyone else, availability going on, a lot of stuff going on. All right, we're going to get a lot of good content from the interviews that have happened today. Already looking at some stuff regarding Nikola Topic, some other players as well, like Aaron Wiggins. So be expecting some more content popped out tomorrow before the game and potentially a watch along as well. All right, before we get into the topic though, quick moment to recognize that around 65% of you guys are not yet subscribed to the channel. If you don't want to miss a single minute of the action here as we go into the NBA Finals, go ahead, hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all your Oklahoma City Thunder news for the rest of the NBA Finals and then the offseason as well, as that is the busiest time for the NBA when it comes to trade rumors, offseason signings, a bunch of other stuff as well. With that out of the way, let's go ahead, get into talking about why Paul George is the reason for this finals matchup. All right, he is the key reason for it. There's no doubt about it in my mind whatsoever. And we're going to go and look at the two trade packages that caused this. First trade package is this one right here. All right. The trades, this happened July 6, 2017. Oladipo and Sabonis were traded for Paul George. We know that happened. Paul George almost won MVP and Defensive Player of the Year while he was with the Oklahoma City Thunder. But then, 2 years later, on the dot, Paul George was traded to the Clippers for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Danilo Gallinari, who didn't stay with the team long. We traded him for some more stuff. 5 first-round picks and 2 swaps. Those picks turned in some great players as well. You might be thinking you only got Shai out of it. No, those picks are still coming in, and we got an All-NBA member and All-Defensive Team member in one of those picks in Jalen Williams. So as we can see, like this Paul George trade is the reason the Thunder in the finals. So people said, no, it's Ibaka. I'm not going all the way back to like 2012, 2011. All right. I'll go all the way back then for this trade. All right. I'm not. It's Paul George. Paul George is the reason for this happening. He's never made a finals appearance in his career, which is kind of crazy to think about, that one of the better, forwards of my generation for sure never made the NBA finals. That is a little bit crazy to think about, but it is true. So when I look at it, Paul George is the reason for this. All right. Thank you, Paul George. You're still doing great work for the Thunder here. Conveying some picks to us. Okay. Helping us make the finals by getting us Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who won an MVP before you as well. Thank you so much, Paul George. But let's go ahead and look at what Kevin Pelton wrote about it over at ESPN. I know we have our thoughts about ESPN, but he did sum it up quite well. Okay. Many small market teams operating conservatively would have feared George leaving in free agency, and have never seriously pursued a trade. Thunder Executive Vice President and General Manager Sam Presti, who built Oklahoma City's first finals team 2011-2012, thought bolder. In a Sports Center documentary on George's free agency, Presti cited a famous lyric from A Tribe Called Quest's 1993 song Midnight as justification for the move. And I love this quote. It's still one of my favorite Presti quotes to this day. In fact, he quoted A Tribe Called Quest. "Scared money don't make none. If you expect Paul George or any player to have any confidence in you as an organization, you have to demonstrate it yourself," Presti argued, which I agree. You have to show them that trust in the organization, being like, look, man, we know you're great. All right. We know we trust you. We love you to death. You want to go over here? We're going to try to get the best thing that we can in return. I love the scare money, don't make none comparison right there. It's the same kind of philosophy he used when signing Isaiah Hartenstein. He had money to spend. Did we overpay for Hartenstein? Yes, but we had the money to do it, and you can't be scared in that situation to not sign him and potentially not make the finals. If you don't sign Hartenstein, you might not make the finals this year if you're Oklahoma City Thunder. So once again, scared money, don't make none. A Tribe Called Quest, Sam Presti. Okay, right there, boom. That's how the Thunder made the finals thanks to the Paul George trade. There's another one though, all right? And that's the Pacers. Would you believe this? July 6, 2017, George for Oladipo and Sabonis. And then later on, Victor Oladipo for Karis LeVert and 2 second-round picks January 16th, 2021. Then later, Caris LeVert and a second-round pick for Ricky Rubio, a first-round pick, and 2 second-round picks, February 7th, 2022. And then the last one, Domantas Sabonis, Justin Holiday, Jeremy Lamb, and a second-round pick for Tyrese Halliburton, Buddy Hield, and Tristan Thompson. The only player still on that team is Tyrese Halliburton, but all these pieces ended up giving you more pieces down the line, like a Ben Shepherd, Benedict Mathurin, a bunch of these players, Miles Turner. You're like having to gamble. Do we want Sabonis? Do we want Turner? All right. You don't trade Sabonis. You don't get Halliburton right there. So there's a bunch of stuff that went into this. Like, look, Paul George got you all these assets that eventually got you one of the best young guards in the NBA in Tyrese Halliburton, who I think should have been Eastern Conference Finals MVP in my opinion. But, I'm not a voter. I don't get to vote on any of that. But let's go ahead and take a look at some more stuff Kevin Pelton said over at ESPN. When George, now a 9-time All-Star, requested to join Kawhi Leonard with the LA Clippers in 2019, the Thunder leveraged situation to acquire future MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, as well as draft picks that have yielded All-Star Jalen Williams and rookie Dylan Jones, with more still to come, all right, including this year's number 15 and number 24 selections. After Victor Oladipo and Domantas Sabonis, whom Indiana acquired for George, developed into All-Stars, the Pacers spun them forward. Sabonis was the centerpiece of Indiana's blockbuster deal for an All-NBA pick, Tyrese Halliburton, and trading Oladipo for Caris LeVert ultimately landed the Pacers starter Andrew Nembhard and reserve Ben Shepherd via draft picks acquired from the Cleveland Cavaliers in a 2023 LeVert deal. So as you can see right there, they ended up getting Caris LeVert from Paul George, which turned into one of their starters, Andrew Nembhard, who is one of the more underrated players in the league. I feel like a lot of people don't talk about him, and he should be talked about more. And Ben Shepherd has been a great piece for them off the bench. It also ended up getting him guys like Obi Toppin, stuff like that. So as you can see, this deal is, it is what shaped the NBA Finals this year in 2025. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, I think we can all agree. When you look at these stats right here he had in the regular season, these are the stats that won him MVP, his first of many in his career, I am sure. You are doing this deal. If you know this is happening, you are doing that deal 10 times out of 10. 10 times out of 10, knowing what Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has turned into, you're doing this deal. The thing is, no one knew this was the kind of player the Thunder were going to be getting. Sure, they knew Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had all-star potential, but averaging 33 points a game, being a future MVP, all right, potential finals winner. If you told me, in 2019 when the Thunder made that trade for Paul George for all those draft picks and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, that the Thunder were going to make the finals before Paul George and potentially win one before him, I would have called you crazy, because there was no way. In 2019, we did not think Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was an MVP caliber player. No one did. And if you truly thought that, congrats. Go buy a lottery ticket, okay? If you truly thought Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was going to be an MVP caliber player, go buy yourself a lottery ticket, because, oh my goodness, your luck is insane, okay? Still, all right? Knowing what you did back then, like, you only do that deal like 1 or 2 out of 10 times, okay? Know what you know now, you do that deal 10 out of 10 times to Sam Presti. So we got to thank Sam Presti for making this deal. And once again, thank Paul George for this finals matchup. As you guys know, if you were in the live stream, I said the Thunder are winning in 5. This is just a great matchup for that Thunder defense, all right? Against Tyrese Halliburton, who is a playmaking guard, who is, going to experience hell with these athletic, fast guard defenders such as Lou Dort, Cason Wallace, Alex Caruso, maybe even Jalen Williams on him. He's going to be in hell. It's going to be a nightmare for Tyrese Halliburton. It will. And we got Paul George to thanks for all of this. All right. That's all I got for this video. Let me know if you guys also agree. Oh my goodness, it was Paul George that ended up making this finals happen, or was it a different player? Okay. Let me know in the comment section below. See you guys in the next video.